take number 2. Today is December 11th, 2017. It is 2:30 p.m. and in front of me I have...
My name is Braedon Kimball. I'm a sophomore here at the Jefferson Davis campus of MGCCC, and as a part of Nicholas's honors contract, I am answering some interview questions on tape.
And so it's to my knowledge that you are part of Phi Theta Kappa, an honors society located here in the Jefferson Davis campus?
Yes, I am the webmaster for the Omicron Alpha chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. We are a top 10% chapter internationally. We are recognized every year at the International Convention, and I'm doing my best to uphold that legacy.
Fantastic. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I would ask you a few set of questions.
Sure.
So, what is your role in this group, and how long have you been a member?
Well, like I said previously, I am the webmaster, although my duties aren't specifically to website maintenance and communication, although those are the two things I manage primarily. I've helped plan with the induction ceremony that we held this fall. I've been helping a lot with the Honors in Action project that we've been doing this semester, and I, on occasion, will conduct meetings if needed. I've been a member of this group since, I believe it was February 2017. I was invited to join in my first semester, and I was inducted, though not officially, that semester, but I did not get involved with the chapter until my spring semester of 2017 and was nominated to be the webmaster early in the semester, and I took over the responsibilities of such by March of this year.
And you mentioned something about the group meetings. When do you typically meet, and what are your discussions?
We meet to discuss chapter business. We have 2 meetings. We have our officer meeting where just the officers meet, and we have the general member meetings. The officer meetings pertain to our projects as well as our larger undertakings such as the faculty luncheon or our service projects like Switzer cleanup. The member meetings are more for things that we want to get members involved. They're where we announce the things we've been planning to the members. So in an officer meeting, we might plan a work day for our Honors in Action project and get all the details sorted out for that. And then during the member meeting, we announce it to the members and invite them to come and participate. We also, like I said, we discuss chapter business. And that ranges from our yearly projects, Honors in Action and college project, as well as day-to-day business like fundraisers and service projects and things of that nature.
And so being in this officer position, what are some of the likes and dislikes that are part of this group?
I really enjoy the leadership opportunities that it provides over the course of my office, so to speak, as the webmaster. I've definitely developed my communication skills and my general leadership skills. Something I'm proud of is we just took our photo for the yearbook, and we had probably more than 20 members there, which was apparently, according to Miss Rochelle Vecchio, a record for our chapter, the most she's seen in her career. And so I'm proud of that because I was the one who handled the communication of that to the members, got that information out there and said, hey, we're meeting here, and then we're taking the picture there. And that's just one of the things that I've been able to do as an officer, and I'm really proud of that, and I'm also appreciate it very deeply. Something that I dislike is really just, since I am in charge of communication and the advertising and things of that nature, when there is a lack of communication or a fault in communication or a miscommunication, that really kind of bothers me, because more often than not it's my fault or it's something that could have easily been avoided if it's not my fault or someone else's fault, just not to point fingers. Usually it's something that could have easily been avoided, but it wasn't, and so then you have a miscommunication, which usually develops into a more serious issue, and then you've got tension or whatever. And so that definitely is something that I dislike
Well, it sounds like with your position, you have a lot of responsibilities and tasks at hand. Can you tell me what kind of activities that you enjoyed while being part of this group?
Oh yeah, probably my favorite activity I've done so far was our trip to Nashville. We went to Nashville, Tennessee, to the International Convention back in April of this year, and met lots of new people, got to experience cool things, learned a lot about various topics, listened to some excellent public speakers. A photographer named Platon who photographed people like Vladimir Putin and President Obama and Bush, and very powerful people. So his insights into that they're very interesting. But on the kind of the day-to-day basis, I really do enjoy working with the members and being able to talk to like-minded people as far as academic priorities are concerned, and I really do enjoy really any of the projects we do, the fundraising, the service, the larger things like for our Honors in Action project where we presented our research to the cities of Biloxi and Gulfport. Those are activities that I definitely enjoy doing because it kind of reinforces that I am developing as a person and I'm learning new things and becoming a better leader.
Well, it seems like you're heavily involved in Phi Theta Kappa, and you do travel a lot. So can you tell me about the first time you came to this group? What were your thoughts?
The first time I ever interacted in a Phi Theta Kappa context was the fall 2016 induction. That was the first ever Phi Theta Kappa event that I'd ever been a part of or witnessed, and it was pretty inspiring to see very influential people like the president of our school, or rather the vice president of our school, and the guest speakers from Mississippi State, people like that who openly recognized, look at these officers and look at the great work they're doing and look at all of you, you guys are important. And so that it lit the spark inside of me of that little interest. But I wanted to focus on my classes, so I waited until the spring semester, and when I really got involved and I became an active member and became an officer was probably February of this year. I was in the leadership class, and that was my first insight into their weekly operations and how the leadership structure worked, and I'd known Dr. West and Miss Wells for a while, and so that's kind of when I really got involved. And then when they were electing new officers, they said, okay, webmaster, and the entire officer team pointed at me, and so it's like, all right.
Pretty eventful. So would you be able to describe to me an important event for you and your group?
Sure. I'd say one of the most important events we undertook this semester was when we presented our research for our Honors in Action project to the cities of Gulfport and Biloxi, because it carries, there's implications behind that information that could see very large benefits to the coast. Recycling oyster shells could have almost unprecedented levels of recovery for our ecosystem here on the coast and the ecological, or rather the ecology of the coast. The oysters provide a lot of benefits, and being able to cultivate oysters onto recycled shells is a very big deal, and I think is something that should be taken seriously and should be acted upon in this state.
And so, how were you given the opportunity to join this group?
Well, I was in the Honors College, so I guess from the very basic level, I had a 25 on the ACT. From that score, I got into the Honors College here, and then from the Honors College, I started to interact with the officers of the previous officer team, and Miss Wells and Dr. West, who are over the Honors College, are also directly over Phi Theta Kappa here at JD, and so they were talking to me means we should be able to get the rest of these questions in one more take, or one more round.
Correct. I want to make sure we have time. All right, so we have to make this go by quick.
Yep, I'll make shorter answers.
Interview part 2. And so, how were you able to become a part of this group?
From a basic level, I had a 25 on the ACT. From there, I was able to get into the Honors College, and then from the Honors College, I met the advisors over the Phi Theta Kappa chapter here, and I interacted with a lot of the officers, and they kind of brought me into that fold.
And so another question I wanted to ask is, are there any punishments as such for members doing anything wrong that would cause them to become disbanded from the group?
Yes, Phi Theta Kappa has rules, official rules, one of which is no illegal activities, so no underage drinking or illicit drug use, obviously. This is just debaucherous behavior, right? Not just the GPA, right? So obviously, if your GPA gets too low, you can't be a member either. But outside of that, they don't allow, although they may have just changed it recently, I'm not certain, they don't allow felons, convicted felons, to become members either. And if you are convicted of a felony while a member, your membership is revoked. I believe that's the only thing, though.
And so for accepting new members, how would a person be able to join, and would a current member be able to refer another person into the group?
Yes, referrals are completely fine. When we recruit, we go through a 3-punch system. So the first punch is the physical letter that they're sent from our school saying that they're eligible and they should join. And then there's an email that's sent out to all of our eligible members. And then after the email, we do phone calls as well to each member, and that usually kind of solidifies either a yes or a no. Because if you just send letters and emails, they might say they want to join, but then they won't act on it, or they'll forget about it and they won't join. Referring, any member can refer another member as long as they have the appropriate GPA for it. You either talk to an officer who can point you in the right direction, or you can go directly to your advisors on campus and they can manually put that person in if they're not already on our automatically generated eligibility list, which they most likely are.
So, with a large number of members inside your group itself, what is the connection that you have with other members?
It varies. There are certain members who I hardly ever talk to because I only ever see them at maybe one meeting a month, and they're not terribly active, and there's nothing wrong with that. To be a member of Phi Theta Kappa, all you have to do is pay the $110 and you're a member for life. You don't have to be active. You don't have to do anything outside of that as long as your GPA is above a 3.5. So it varies. Like with that said, I'm pretty close with some of my fellow officers, and there are other officers who I would not consider more than colleagues. That's just the nature of how it is. Personality differences, different goals in life, just things that if you're not put in the same work environment and you're not put on the same team, you wouldn't normally interact with these people, and that's just the nature of professional relationships. With that being said, there are a couple officers who I am friends with, and so it varies.
And for my final question, are there any slang terms such as phrases, idioms, code words, or perhaps nicknames that you have that are special within the group itself?
There are two that come to mind. One is our interviewer here refers to himself as Nicky P, and so on occasion he will be that moniker will be used on him. And then another saying, which I love to say, is top 10% of the student body, which is something that we say in a sarcastic way usually, where one of our members or officers does something classically stupid or funny or dumb or whatever, and then you say, oh yeah, top 10% of the student body. So those are the two that come to mind.
And to always state that Phi Theta Kappa's good one-word motto for anything is outstanding.
Outstanding, yes. You caught me off guard there. Well, that's our region. But yes, outstanding.
Well, thank you, Braedon Kimball, for the wonderful interview.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
And she's just husking skickabar.